Hello, Sacramento. My name is Dustin McFarland with California Probate and Trust, and I am happy to be here today. Thanks for tuning in. Wills. Let's talk about wills. Dustin, do I need a will? I have a will. Is this a will? I'm just going to write this down. It's going to be a will. I had it notarized. It's all legal and legit now. Do you need a will? Well, yes, everybody needs a will. The question is it going to work? Is it valid, and how does it work? So really the first issue we need to know is, what is a will? A will is a written set of instructions to a judge in a probate court. And it literally says, Your Honor, if you're reading this, I'm dead. Please make all of my information public. Tell everyone all of the assets that I own. Tell the world what creditors I own or owe, any back taxes I have, any debts, other debts I might have, and if there's, make sure all of that stuff gets paid, and then if there's anything left, give it to the following individuals in these percentages or order. That's what a will is. It's a letter to a judge in a probate court. And you're thinking, Dustin, I have a will. Why do I need to go to court? Because wills are only valid if they are in a probate court and approved by the judge. If the judge doesn't approve it, it's not a valid will and it won't stand. It won't be enforceable. It won't work. You've wasted your time. You've wasted your money. So a lot of people say, well, can I just do my own will? Of course. Of course you can do your own will. You do not need to hire a lawyer to do a will. Do you want to do your own will? Do you want to drill your own cavities? Do you want to be your own chiropractor or your own surgeon? I don't. I only do what I'm good at. You can do your own will, and it might seem simple, but if you leave just a little detail out, the judge will likely invalidate it or at least make it very difficult for your executor. Oh, wait, I forgot to appoint an executor. You have to meet all of this criteria to make your will valid, or else it's invalid. And if it's invalid, then the judge is going to throw it out and choose, and he's going to follow the state law, and your decisions may never be known. So do a will, but make sure it's right. Dustin, I have a trust. Do I need a will? Yes, please. Everybody needs a will. But if you have a trust, then your will is a special breed of wills. It's not your regular will. It's a special breed called a pour-over will, P-O-U-R. Pour-over will is pouring the assets out. There is one beneficiary of your pour-over will. The only beneficiary of your pour-over will is your trust. So the common example is somebody does a trust, they do a pour-over will because that's smart, and then they buy their kid a house, or they buy another house or vacation property or inherit something or whatever. And they have this house that's not in their trust because they forgot to fund it. See the other videos. They forgot to fund it, and then they die. So the question is, how do we get that house back into the trust? And the way we do that is with a pour-over will. We go to court. The court, with that will, scoops up that house and pours it back into the trust. And that's how a pour-over will works. You know, the people who invented this stuff 100 years ago or 200 years ago, whatever, they could have been a little bit more creative. So there's different types of wills, but we talk about wills. We talk about a last will and testament. We talk about a pour-over will, and then we have a living will. Well, a last will and testament and a will are the same thing. A pour-over will is almost the same thing, except it pours into a trust, and a living will has nothing to do with the other three. A living will is really more about your health care and who's going to pull the plug when you die or when you're about dead, when you're just kind of dead but not totally dead, but you're about to be totally dead. That's what a living will is. So don't get them confused. They're easily interchangeable, but they're not the same thing. Will, last will and testament, pour-over will, that's for when you die. That's a probate court. That's for your stuff. Living will, that's a healthcare decision. That is a completely separate thing. Please don't get them confused. So the common question is, Dustin, do I need a will or do I need a trust? Well, I don't know. But when we sit down and talk to you, we're going to figure that out. Some people really need a trust, and some people only need a will. And we would never do one for the other. I would never sell somebody a trust that didn't need it, and I would never sell somebody a will only if they really would be, if a trust would be more appropriate. So we're going to sit down and make sure you are guided in the right direction. That is a problem I see that's pretty common, is people just want to get the simplest or the cheapest or the whatever process, when really something more robust like a trust would be appropriate and the right way to protect their family. We're never going to sell you what you don't need. We're going to make sure you are set up so that your family is taken care of and stays out of court, doesn't fight, and you avoid any sort of excess taxes or legal fees after you die. We want to make sure that you get exactly what you need. Contact my office today to schedule your no-cost, no-obligation strategy session to learn what will is appropriate for you and what would benefit your family the most.